So we're taking paper 1, May, June 2021, right? Okay. Yeah, the first question says, which one of the following does a point on the productive possibility curve? What's a point? Yeah, the first question says, which one of the following does a point on the production possibility curve represents? So what's the answer? A given amount of resources being fully employed. A given amount of resources being fully employed. Yes, that's the answer. So go to question 2. So Andres is a plumber. Unlike his competitors, he is prepared to work at the weekend. However, he charges customers 50% more for its service at the weekend. Which one of the following describes these economic assumptions? So that means Andreas is a business person. So if he works for extra time, like he works during the weekends, unlike its competitors, he wants more profit. Thank you. So he wants to maximize its profits. So the answer is B. Clear. A, sorry. Yeah, is it clear? We go to question C. It said, what is meant by the term economies of scale? Economies of scale is an average cost reduction as a result of expansion. An average cost reduction as a result of expansion or as a result of increase in output. Is it clear? Should I write it out? Let me just write it very quick. I'm writing it in the cost. It's a reduction in the average cost of production. In the average cost of production due to expansion. Is it clear? Okay. We'll go to the next one. Yeah, forest, yes. River, mountain, these are land because lands are fixed in nature. So they are not mobile. I think that is clear. Okay. All right. We go to E now, right? So define the term monopoly. Monopoly is a market structure where there is one business dominating the industry. I think it's clear. We go to question F. They say here, Outdrive provides a dog walking service to dog owners in his local area. After a successful first year, he increased prices by 1.5% and quantity demanded fell by 1.1%. Before we go further, the law of demand says the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. So because the price has increased, the demand for decreases, okay? So now they say we should calculate to do two decimal places, the price elasticity of demand. And for PED, it is percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in price. So we have minus 1.1 divided by 1.5. So it gives us minus 0.73. And it is inelastic. Is it clear? Inelastic. Is it clear, please? So we'll go to G. All right. Yeah, they said, okay. So using the diagram below, draw the likely effect on the market for cars of the introduction of more effective technology in production. Label the new curve, the new equilibrium price, and the new equilibrium quantity. Effective technology will increase output, shifting the supply curve rightward from S to S1. So that's the first point. From S to S1, 12. So we're going to have our supply curve shifting rightward from S to S1. Okay, at that point in time, we're going to have a fall in price from equilibrium price to P1, from PE to P1, and then a new equilibrium quantity at Q1. Please come see what I did here, please. Okay, just like that. Can you see from there? So let me just do it again.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just do it again so you understand. Yeah, so we have this. The first thing is that technology improvement in technology or effective technology will shift supply curve rightward. So our supply curve will shift rightward from S to S1. At this point, we're going to have a new price from PE to P1. And at this point, we're going to have a new quantity this way. Is it clear? All right, wait. So we'll name it. Okay, here we'll name it here as Q1, Q1. Then we have P1, P1. So we have it outside, sorry. Yeah, P1. And here, sorry, come see something here too. S1. S1. Just that way, okay. S1. So you name it Q1, P1, and S1. Clear, right? So that's how we go about the supply curve. Any question about it? Right. Move on. Right, so move on. Question H said, explain one possible effect on the supply of labor of the school living age being raised. So if school living age is raised, it means the years people have to spend in school would have to be between 16 to 18. So that means more years have to be spent in school before graduation. So what is the consequence of this? The consequence of this is that one, the supply of labor would fall because these days more students still stay in school before they graduated. So as a result of that, unemployment demand for labor in UK would increase because there's less supply of labor. So this will bring the wage rates higher. Do you get the point I make here? The first point is that with the school living age being increased, the number of years students have to spend in school would increase, making it less supply of labor. And if there's less supply of labor, employment or demand for labor would increase, meaning that wage rates would rise for firms. Is it clear? Any question about that? Or why? So here I wrote, I said if the school living age is raised, it will increase the number of years spent before graduating, which means the supply of labor would reduce. We talked about that. A business like Bupa, that's the business anyway, might have to decide to operate. Wait, no, that's all about that. That's I. Question I, yes. So yeah, Bupa, question 9. Question I, please read for me.
Bupa is an international firm that provides healthcare products to 32 million customers in 190 countries. The initial purpose of the firm was to provide health insurance, and it has grown by offering a wide range of services. This includes retirement homes for the
elderly,
eye care, treatment.
So Bupa is an international firm that provides healthcare products to 32 million customers in 190 countries. The initial purpose of the firm was to provide health insurance. It has grown by offering a wider range of services. This includes retirement homes for the elderly, high care, hospital treatment, dental work, and travel insurance. With reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, analyze why people may have decided to operate in a wider range markets. So the first point is that Bupa might have decided to operate in a wider range of market because one, it helps in diversification. So you being Bupa being able to sell different products or to sell in different markets leads to diversification, and diversification will bring about spreading of risk. That is the first point. The second point is that by spreading the risk, it allows Bupa to cover up for lack of sales from one product to increase in sales of another. So if Bupa is not selling one product, if the sales of one product is reducing, or yes, it's reducing, Bupa might use the sales of other products that are rising to cover up for that. Or if the cost of producing one, if the cost of one product is rising, it could use the reduction in other costs to cover up for that. So the third point is that different range of services may increase revenue, which in turn may help Bupa with cash flow. So the third point I'm going to make here is that with diversification, it allows Bupa to be able to make different revenue from different product sales, which means it will be able to have an improved cash flow, which is good for the business. That might make the business successful. That's about right. Then we'll go to questions. For question 2, they said, which one of the following products has a price in elastic demand? We have W minus 1.5. That is elastic. Minus 1 is unitary. Minus 0.5, that is inelastic. 1 is unitary. So the answer is product Y, which is C. Question 2B. So which one of the following is the formula for calculating average cost, which is AC? AC is TC divided by quantity produced, which is C. Question C. They said, state one reason why government intervene. State one reason why government intervene in the economy. Government would intervene in the economy because of market failure. Another reason why government might intervene in the economy is if there is asymmetric information, lack of information, or lack of competition in the market. These are the reasons why government would want to intervene. That's question C. We go to D. Indeed, it said calculate profit or loss for the firm for each pairs of shoes. You are advised to show your working. So we said total revenue. So we said profit. Profit equals to total revenue minus total cost. So therefore we have profit. We have profit to be equals to total revenue is the selling price, which is 89, minus the cost price, which is 17, plus 17 plus 35. So that gives us profit equals to 89 minus 52, which is equals to $37. $37. So that's the answer for that. So go to question E. We go to question E. It says define the term fine. A fine is a financial penalty given to a business or a firm that is careless in its operation. So a fine is a financial penalty given to businesses by government because they are careless or they are negligent about their operations. So that's E. We go to question F. Describe one benefit to consumers of privatization. What is privatization? Privatization means the transfer of government-owned property to the hands of the private sector. The advantage about privatization is that it increases competition in the economy. And if competition increases in the economy, businesses might have to charge a lower price, which is good for customers because they have to attract customers. So customers will enjoy reduction in price due to privatization. So go to G. It says Microsoft has a patent on a number of its technological designs. Explain one reason why Microsoft might have patents on its design. First, patents prevent competitors from copying Microsoft's design, which means if competitors are unable to copy Microsoft's design, Microsoft might be able to sell at a higher price. Then, because it's able to sell at a higher price, it will be able to cover up for its cost of research and development. So that's G. Go to H. It said, fast food restaurants around the world use division of labor during the production of food and drinks. Employees are given different tasks. Burgers are fried before being placed in a bread bun. Chopped lettuce, tomatoes are then added. Potatoes are also peeled and sliced in order to make fries. With reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, assess whether a firm such as fast food restaurants always benefit from using division of labor. The first thing is that we have to define division of labor. Division of labor is the breaking down of production process into different stages, and each stage can be performed by different people. Then we start to talk about the advantages of division of labor. So the first advantage about division of labor is that it means each workers can concentrate on one aspect of the product. So that means there's some workers might concentrate in chopping the lettuce and tomatoes. Then others might also concentrate in peeling the potatoes. So and others might try it. So this allows each individual to concentrate on one aspect of the production. So as soon as one aspect is being concentrated, it brings about specialization. So each worker might become specialized in that field. And if specialization increases for the fast food, it means that they will be efficient. And efficiency, that's the name of the said fast food. So being efficient would mean that they will be able to sell or serve their customers as soon as possible. So that's about that, and that improves the reputation of the fast food, and as a result, revenue might increase and profit might be maximized. So that's about it. So we'll go to question 3. For question 3, let's say which one of the following factors may cause a shift in the demand curve? A shift in demand curve would be as a result of a non-price factor, an increase or a change in the non-price factor, such as demographic changes, such as availability of substitutes. So here we have cost of production, which is a shift in the supply curve. We have subsidies, which is also a shift in the supply curve. We have changes in prices, which is a movement in the demand or the supply curve. So the answer is B, demographic changes. So we go to B. So which one of the following is an example of an external cost? External costs are spillovers, which is negative spillovers based on the action or inaction of an individual or of a firm or the government. Healthcare cannot be an external cost, it will be an external benefit. Rent is a private cost. Weather condition doesn't have anything to do with external cost or private cost. It's a free good, so it doesn't have anything to do with cost. So rent is not. Littering around. When you litter the ground, it's an external cost because it is pollution. So the answer is B. Then we go to question C. I said on the blank pie chart below, draw and label the appropriate sizes of the primary, secondary, and tertiary sector for a developing economy such as Haiti. Haiti is a developing economy, and for developing economy, they have the largest proportion of their population or their employment in the primary sector of the population. And maybe the secondary and the tertiary sector might be able to share the less. So the largest proportion of their population, of their employment or production comes from the primary sector. So that means we have to draw a graph here. So we say this proportion, more of this proportion, let's use let's say so let's say the proportion here and here would make up for the primary production. Then this sector will make up for secondary production. This sector, let's use other. This sector yeah, so let's say that's my graph here, but at least we're getting it. So all these sectors are for primary production. So we can write, we should do better than this is the primary sector, the primary secondary, and tertiary, tertiary. So that's about that. So go to question. Yeah, they said in the capital of Laos, Vientiane, residents and tourists can now use the LOCA app to hire taxi. So the figure shows the excess supply. Drivers working in area of the city when the price of journey is this. So it said, with reference to this data above and our knowledge of economics, we should analyze the market forces, how the market forces can remove excess supply. So first, what is excess supply? Excess supply will be as a result of price being set above the equilibrium price. So this is the equilibrium price. So this is the equilibrium price. This is the equilibrium price. So price set above it, this is our excess supply. This is the excess supply. This is excess supply. So that means the price is set above the equilibrium price. That is why we have excess supply. So when supply implies that supply is less than what the demand. That means the supply is more than the demand. So if supply is more than the demand, it means some goods or services will be unsold in the market. And this will be as a result of setting price above the equilibrium price. That is the point there. Then to correct this excess supply, first, what are market forces? Market forces are the demand for and the supply of labor, or the demand for and the supply of a product. So to correct the excess supply in this market, the price has to be set below the equilibrium price, which is, it has to reduce back to 8,000, where we have the market equilibrium. This is the point of the market equilibrium. We have the market equilibrium here. We have the market equilibrium. So price should be set equilibrium. So price should be set equilibrium. So that's our market equilibrium. Market. So price should be set at 8,000 if the market forces want to reduce the excess supply, or they want to correct the excess supply. That's the answer for that. So we go to D. So we go to E. It said public universities Public universities in Norway do not charge students any tuition fees. Education is funded by the government, which is public. In recent years, Norway has spent more on education than any other country as percentage of GDP. Norway also has one of the lowest rates of unemployment in the world. With reference to this information and our knowledge of economics, we should assess the benefits of Norway of the government funding all education. So, one, education is an external benefit, which means it will be able to, education is an external benefit, which means what? It is a positive spillover to third party. That is why it is an external benefit. So students who attend education, what happens? When students are able to attain education, they will be useful to the economy. That means they will be useful even to the third party, which is also an external benefit. So with proper education, the Norwegian people will gain employment, which will increase their income and their living standards. That is the third point. Then this will also reduce unemployment. And also they already said that the unemployment rate in Norway is falling. So based on the fact that the workers the labor force have good education, which makes them to be attractive to employers. So that also helps to reduce unemployment. However, there could be an opportunity cost. And what's the opportunity cost here? Government financing education might mean that government would not be able to spend or finance healthcare or infrastructure. Two, the benefit of education also takes time. It does not come immediately. So those are the problems about government of Norway funding education. And lastly, it can also be, because it's a public good, it can also lead to free rider problem, where those that are not paying their taxes would be able to enjoy. Those Norwegians that are not paying their taxes might also enjoy free education from government. So those are the answers for that. Then we go to question. Go to question 4. So it says figure 5 shows the population in Australia in the year 2000 to 2008 and 2018. Calculate to two decimal place the percentage in the population in Australia between 2000 and 2018. You are advised to show your working. So here we have so to calculate the percentage profit, percentage change in population, it is the percentage of 8,891,388 minus 8069, because in 2000 and 2018, 8069,276 over 8069,276 multiply by 100. So this gives us 822,112 divided by 8069,276 multiplied by 100. So the answer is 10.19%. 10.19%. So that's the answer for that. So we divide the population for 2018 minus the population for 2000 divided by population for 2000 multiplied by 100. It gives us 822,112. We divide it by 806,927 divided by 8069,276 multiplied by 100. That gives us our answer. So we move on. It said figure 6 shows the price elasticity of supply, PES on bananas. So with reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, analyze how the quantity supplied of bananas might be affected by an increase in price. First, let's go to the graph. Based on this graph, it shows that the PES for banana is inelastic, because there's no so much significant change in the quantity demand, in the quantity supply as a result of a change in price. So the PES is inelastic. That's the first point. So, and when I say the PES is inelastic, it means that there's no significant change in the quantity supply as a result of a change in price. So what are the reasons why we could have an inelastic PES despite an increase in price? We might have it because banana is a product that takes time to germinate. So farmers might not be able to supply more bananas despite the fact that there is increase in the price of banana because it takes time before bananas germinate. So that's the answer for that. We go to the last question here, which is 4C. So they said in 2019, the monthly minimum wage in Spain increased by the largest percentage in over 40 years. It rose by around 22% compared to only a 4% rise in the previous year. It was part of an annual review with a focus on making Spain great again. The Spanish Prime Minister said that a rich country should not have poor workers. Well, so with this reference, based on this analysis, we should evaluate whether an increase in the minimum wage will benefit an economy such as Spain. First, what is minimum wage? Minimum wage is the lowest amount an employer should pay an employee in a country, in an economy. So an increase in the minimum wage would an increase in the minimum wage will increase the income level of the people living in Spain, which means their purchasing power would increase. So if their purchasing power increases, it means they will be able to buy goods and services that they are unable to buy, which means the living standards in Spain would improve. As soon as the living standards improves, what happens also, an increase in minimum wage can also motivate workers to seek for employment. Will motivate the workforce to seek for employment and also motivate workers at workplace, which means productivity will increase. And as soon as productivity increases, firms will be able to increase their output and make more profit. An increase in minimum wage can also will increase income, definitely, and also increase government revenue through income tax, which means government will be able to make more revenue through income tax, which can allow government of the country to invest or to finance public spending, maybe on infrastructure or education or on healthcare. However, the problems about increase in minimum wage is that firms might not be able to pay such amount, which means firms will not be employing more workers, which can also lead to unemployment in Spain. So that's the end about this past paper. That's paper 1, May, June 2021. Thank you.